some more.
Yo, what's good people? Izzy Max here, back again for some more MDL content. This match is going to be against C-Rad and Hubbub. As you see on the screen, you can see everything that they are bringing, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. This is actually a really exciting match. Hub is going to lead the Palisand Selgor combo with Togetic and Cinderace in the back, leaving Dragalge and Venusaur on the bench. The Selgor is safety goggles for the Tangrowth here. Turns out this Tangrowth is actually super offensive Tangrowth with Chlorophyll, so it was a really cool set. Let's see if I can speed this up just a little bit. Okay, so leading off, of course, Hub is leading with Palisand and a Selgor, as C-Rad leads Tangrowth and Salazzle. This was actually a really cool combo, as we do see the air balloon on the Salazzle, which kind of makes things a little more difficult. She is protecting here, expecting the fake out on probably the Selgor, if I had to guess. So there's the Salazzle. And we do see now the double protect. So no Rage Powder, and then we see the Max Flare coming off into the Palisand. Not doing too much damage, but then we did protect here, so the Giga Drain just knocks into the protect. Here, I think she could have Water Shuriken, but it might not have, or it might have done too much to where the Tangrowth could have been an issue. So here we are just going to see the final gambit into the Tangrowth. Selgor has a lot of HP, and now we're just going to see the double up. So final gambit there does end up killing the Tangrowth. So now one of the main threats for Palisand is gone, as we see the Maxus come out, not do too terribly much, but now Salazzle is at +1. And the Shadow Ball comes out, again, not doing too much. We do get the special defense drop, but it also popped the air balloon, which is very important. Out now comes the Togetic and the Slowking. So now Palisand has a really good matchup against, honestly, all of the things that are out right now. We are going to see the Earth Power actually come out into the Salazzle. So the withdrawal was really good just in case the Shadow Ball was coming into that slot, as we do see the Max Guard here. So this turn is pretty much useless. C-Rad was able to get a free switch though, however. Okay, we're gonna see the Protect here. I don't know if you're expecting the taunt, or maybe expecting an Iron Head straight up from the Corviknight. There's the withdrawal. We're gonna see a lot of switching here in game one. And there's the Protect, and the Earth Power does come off. It does decent damage to the Slowking. Slowking is not very specially defensive, it is very physically defensive. And here, expecting another Iron Head, she is switching into the Cinderace. As Slowking here does protect, and the taunt comes off, which doesn't really affect Cinderace all too much. The sunlight does fade, which is kind of unfortunate, but I do believe this isn't G-Max Cinderace, because I think it was setting the sun for the Venusaur later on. So here we do see the Max going to be on the Cinderace. So Hubbub here really has the advantage when it comes to the Dynamax turns, as the Max Flare is able to just KO the Corviknight. And here we see a Thunder Wave. It misses the Cinderace, which is kind of unfortunate, but unless she would have got a full para, it didn't really matter. Even then, I don't think it matters, because Salazzle dies here to both hits. Here we C-Rad now finds out that the Cinderace is adamant, but the Max Flare just ends up knocking out the Salazzle. So game one goes to Hubbub in a +3. So here in game two, seeing that he does have the Tangrowth, and that weird lead. It looks like she is going to switch it up a bit and leave the Palisand Selgor on the bench. And is going to try Dragalge. This is the first time she has brought Dragalge. And it kind of matches up really well with the coverage it has. Fire, water, and electric coverage. Hits every single one of his mons for at least super effective. So that is actually a really, really good mon. Defensively, it's not great. Weak to, I think, 4 of the 6 that he brought. But I think it'll do some work here. So we see a Salazzle Slowking lead. And of course the air balloon is attached. And a Max Lightning is just going to come off into the Slowbro. And we're going to see another, yeah, just to follow me. Like I said, I don't think Togetic is ever going to get a KO. But it's not supposed to. So here's the max on the Dragalge. I do believe it actually gets Thunder Waved. Or no, I'm sorry, the Togetic does. Yeah, so there's the Thunder Wave. Togetic is now slow. But the Max Lightning actually ends up KOing the Slowking, which is really, really nice. I don't know if the crit matters. Dragalge does have a very high special attack stat. But if it did, it did. If it didn't, like I said, I'm not for sure. And out comes Rhyperior. This is a little rough because if the rain was up, this might have ended up killing. Yeah, it doesn't end up killing. And another really, really, I guess, bad thing happens on this turn. So there's the Dynamax Rhyperior, of course. And he max guards. Togetic gets paralyzed, but it is also now taunted. So Togetic now is basically useless. It doesn't have any attacking moves, and there's really not a chance to get a free switch. So that is actually very, very rough. So Togetic's just going to struggle here. We see the Max Quake, so we now know that this Rhyperior is super fast. It's outspeeding the Corviknight. And here comes the Max Geyser, doing a little more than 50%. But we now see that the Rhyperior is weakness policy. And Struggle comes out doing probably like 2 damage. At this point, Togetic just needs to die. And that way she could get a clean switch into her 2 other threats, which handle both of these mons very, very well. There is the Max Rockfall, going to kill the Dragalge and set up the Sand. That is also very important because it does boost the Rhyperior's special defense. And the Iron Head, not doing much, but the Togetic actually flinches, which is kind of rough. She really needed that to die. So here I think she goes into Venusaur. Yeah. And C-Rat actually makes a very, very good play here. So Rhyperior is faster than the Corviknight, but it's not going to be faster than this Venusaur. At least it shouldn't be. So here she actually protects, wanting the Togetic to go down. That way she can have a 2-2 where each mon can handle its relative threat. But we see the Rhyperior actually Rock Polish here, which puts her in a very, very bad position, and this breaks the Sash. So now Rhyperior is even faster than Adamant Cinderace, and that's pretty much all this one wrote. Giga Drain, of course, will knock out the Rhyperior, and Pyro Ball, as we've already seen, knocks out the Corviknight. So this is pretty much all this game is written. At least Venusaur gets to knock out the Rhyperior. And then Brave Bird here does a bunch of damage, leaving Venusaur at 19. I'm going to just tell you now, Salazzle comes in and kills it, so that's not a huge deal. Let's go ahead and get into the next game. Did I skip teams? No. Okay, so she's going back to the Palisand Selgor with the Cinderace and the Venusaur in the back, leaving Togetic and Dragalge on the bench. it's not that Dragalge didn't do what it was supposed to. It's just it kind of got the taunt really put Togetic in a bad spot to where it can't do what it's supposed to do with the follow me's. I don't remember what he actually leads. I think it's a Salazzle Corviknight again? Corviknight Slowking. Okay. So here, she can actually go for the water compaction. So we are going to see this combo for the second time, I believe, this season. I think she brought it against Matt. No, brought it against Brock. Okay, there is the Dynamax for the Palossand. And here's the water compaction. So there's hit 1. Get the weakness policy. Hit 2. I think it actually, unfortunately, hits 5 times. And there's a crit in the middle. Yeah, there's the crit. And there's the 5th hit. So that's actually kind of unfortunate because this Scald does a lot of damage. The burn, who cares? But Slowking there does go down. Mirror Armor, dropping the defense, so now I think Palossand's at like +5. But it doesn't matter too terribly much. Salazzle is the next one out here. And I actually really, really like this play. So knowing that the Salazzle is Air Balloon, just final gambiting, getting the Acelgor off the field, knowing that the Palossand is the actual threat, popping the Air Balloon, doing a bunch of damage, and there's the Flamethrower and the Brave Bird into the Palossand, which the Brave Bird wouldn't have done much, and I don't think the Flamethrower would have either. So now we are in another very good position on Hubbub's side with the Palossand being able to KO the Salazzle and this KOing the Corviknight. This is kind of the position she wanted to be in Game 2, but couldn't because of the flinch on the Togetic. So now Salazzle just goes down here, and now it is a 3v1. Palossand takes a little bit more from burn. On the good side, even if Rhyperior protects here, Palossand can live at least one more burn turn. So this is really a targeting nightmare for C-Rad, because Rhyperior doesn't have the best special defense, and this is a +2 Palossand going for a super effective stab move. Or you have a Cinderace going for stab, super effective physical move. So I do think he picked the right target, not targeting the Cinderace, because I do think the Palossand actually would have killed here. But the Palossand does go down. Again, not a huge deal. Knowing that she has Venusaur in the back, really reassuring here. And Giga Drain plus whatever should knock it out here. So Sucker Punch just for the chip, and just in case that special defense boost actually ended up saving it. I don't think it would have. But there's the Sucker Punch, bringing Rhyperior down past half, and the Giga Drain going to be able to do the rest of the damage there. And Hubbub ends up getting the win. I believe she's 4-1. She has only lost to Matt. So that's going to be the end of this one. Tell me what you thought of this match. I thought this was actually a really good showing from really both competitors. But without further ado, I will see you in the next one. Peace.